Good morning, everybody. Tracy Brown here. I'm in a different location just to mix it up because I don't want to get bored, so I don't want you to get bored either with the scenery. So I am sitting out in the front yard trying to get some outside time before it's 100 degrees. It's already probably 85 already, 90, 8:30 in the morning. But anyway, so I want to talk about basically our triggers and our personal pendulum swings. So what I mean by that, and I want you to have some pen and paper. If you have some around, get some and get a chance. If not, listen to this again when you have some time to make some notes for yourself. So this is a little bit of a teaching video today on our Friday, and some things to be thinking about going into the weekend. So we all have just our things that like get us going more than other things. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. Like at the beginning of this process, our window of tolerance is pretty low for, let's say, like not counting calories, or not doing as hard a workout, or a workout at all, or even recognizing our fullness signals. It's we anytime we stop doing what we've been doing as you transition into intuitive eating, it's going to freak you out more. But the good thing about this is it's a practice. So the more you practice, the more you try to slow yourself down and tune in, the less pendulum swings you're going to have. But everybody's different, and that's why it's important not to compare, of course, your recovery to other people's. And when I say recovery, I don't just mean from eating disorders. I mean, if you're a person who's been dieting or worried about your food or your weight, you're recovering from diet culture. You are. We don't often think of it that way, but when these kind of powers and influences are over us, since the moment you're born, it's there, that you're going to have to kind of really push and fight your way out of that paradigm. And it takes effort, it takes work. So you are recovering from being in a situation like that. So anyway, I want you to think about what good morning, hello Carol. I want you to think about your pendulum swing. And that might mean that, I do pretty good with my intuitive eating, and then I get another work assignment or something happens at work. Maybe work's your thing. This is what you want to be writing notes about. Like, there are certain things that are going to bother you more than others that might shorten your window of tolerance for not counting calories, not knowing your weight, being more or less more okay with your current size. Because sometimes you're going to feel okay, and you feel hopeful, and then sometimes you're going to feel like, I can't do this, I need to go back to a diet, I need to lose weight. Or if it's not those things, maybe you're at a place like, yeah, I've been there, done that, I'm not going to try to diet, but we still have the thinking. We have this, oh my gosh, I can't be healthy in our heads, or oh my gosh, this weight gain's got to stop, or gosh, I'm just so unused to my body being like this, and you get more concerned or obsessive about it, where maybe a week ago it wasn't bothering you that much. And so to me, that tells me here's the arc. There's something that's going on, either a body memory, which can happen totally and make us feel really overwhelmed, and we want to go back to any kind of, even if it's not behavior, diet behavior, or over-exercise, or just the opposite. And I think that it's important to recognize that we do have opposites, meaning for a certain amount of time, you can be more driven with calorie counting or macros or over-exercise or planning everything. And the other end, it can kind of look like this functional freeze where, yeah, I can't get going. I haven't got groceries in 3 weeks, or I kind of know what I'm supposed to do, but I can't get going with it. Or and underneath that, usually, sometimes it's a body memory where just a little flinch happens, like your shoulders feel heavier, or your heart's a little faster, or you just feel slow and a little checked out. You've kind of swung basically to a collapse. And not that you don't care, it's just you've been probably up here too long of worrying too much or too much. Both of those places, we find ourselves a lot of times in ruminating about food or weight in some way, some flavor of it, because of things that felt too much. So whether it's your I want you to, this is what I want you to write down, is try to look back at the last time that you felt like really pull back towards diet culture, or can't get yourself going with self-care, or whatever it is. Think about what that was, because that's kind of your gold nugget to figure out, like, okay, I use food and diet culture stuff, worry, obsession, thinking that, like, I'm not anybody if I don't get thinner, or I'm not successful, or I'm not going to be healthy. You have those thoughts, whether they have behaviors with them or not. If that's happening, you want to think, okay, what just, okay, wait a minute, like a month ago or 6 weeks ago or 2 days ago, I wasn't doing that, and now I am. What just happened? You want to start to get clear about it's not always, like, after you're aware that diet culture exists and it's something that you're actively observing, then it's like, okay, so I'm kind of out of that paradigm of maybe acting in it, but we still have that kind of neural pathway to function out of it when our window of tolerance is kind of small of what we can navigate with either our internal environment or the sun's kind of funky, too bright, with our internal environment or something outside of us that we have a wound around, whether it's performance at work or relationships at home or whatever it is, or a trip out of your comfort zone. And not knowing what to expect and trying to be safe. There's something that happened. So I want you to be thinking about that. And I know when you're new to this process that you're thinking, well, I feel this way all the time. Yeah, it's a big jumble. It can be like a big ball of yarn with like multicolored. So you've got like purple strands and red strands and yellow and blue and green, and you're not sure what's what. Just pick something. Pick the pink one and just observe the thread. Like, okay, where does this come from? How old is this? What's going on? The more you bring it to your attention, the less powerful it's going to be, and you can work through it, and that one thing won't be as difficult and will be less, kind of build your window of tolerance. Like, okay, if that thing happens, I know how to care for myself. I don't really necessarily think about restricting or binging or whatever. I have enough resource for that. Okay, that's a deeper work, but I want to introduce you all to it if you haven't ever heard of these things, or just didn't know it exists, because intuitive eating is one thing. It's like, here's some guideposts to learn how to eat based on hunger and fullness. Absolutely necessary, to fully be free from eating and weight concerns. We need to do that process. But what starts to happen when we do it, a lot of emotion's going to come up. And intuitive eating is so much harder to navigate. Even your day-to-day hunger fullness signals, if things keep popping up that like pull you back. Because in itself, a couple things. If we had more comfort with and about our bodies, intuitive eating wouldn't be that difficult. So why do we have discomfort either within our bodies or what we believe about our bodies? It's because we've been chronically shamed, and there's something that's either conscious or unconscious that needs attention, because the function of any kind of food behavior is trying to regulate and manage whatever's going on that feels like too much. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was informative. It was meant to be a teaching video, just to give you more insight as to what you're actually doing when you start intuitive eating. So I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry for everybody who just popping on. I've been talking a while, so please start from the beginning. Grab your pen and paper and make some notes. All right, I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.